All right, let's go back to Discord and hear from a few more folks in the audience and see what is on the minds of the many. Why don't we go to Simon from Montana? Simon from Montana, welcome to the program. What's on your mind today?
Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, I just had two things. They're very different, but yeah, we'll see if we get through the first one.
All right.
I basically work at a gas station in Montana, locally owned. It's really nice, and the people there are, I would say, mostly conservative. Me and one other liberal, I guess I would say, but no one talks about it. And there's one guy that does, and he's the most conservative.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty bad, and no one likes him. No one likes him at all, which is sort of funny because of that. But the people that I like there are, I recently found out, I haven't worked there that long, much more conservative than I thought. Um, but they just don't talk about it. And now I'm just having a hard time sort of reconciling that because I like these people. Um, but do you have any similar situations in your life like that?
You saying where there's right wingers in my life?
That you like, that you enjoy them, but
Yeah,
that you sort of.
nobody. I listen. I'm not hanging out with neo Nazis. I'm not hanging out with overt racists or anti Semites. I have plenty of people in my social circles who are center right. It's not the majority, but I have people in my social circles who are center right when it comes to economics and taxation. I have people who are center right when it comes to, for example, law enforcement. I have friends in different areas of law enforcement. These are all people with whom we have a shared moral basis on 85% of stuff. But then we have differences of opinion in terms of certain policy ideas. Uh, and that's fine and welcome and it's no big deal. But I don't have like hardcore extremists that I'm hanging out with.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just sort of wondering. That's helpful. Thank you.
I
Can
mean,
I ask
how
one more
how
quick
extreme
one?
are the folks you're talking
Uh,
about?
Sorry.
How extreme are the folks you're talking about?
Um, the one guy that everyone doesn't like is he's a neo-Nazi for sure. He's
Wow.
a Holocaust denier.
Yeah, see, that's
Um,
not going to be in that's a no for me, dog.
yeah, same here.
Yeah.
The other people, I just few of them support Trump. And they, I don't think some of them are pretty Christian and they don't support abortion or something, but gay marriage, I think they're all fine. And, we have trans people that come in and stuff,
All right.
but yeah, I don't know. I'll probably remain friends with some of the not that one guy, but yeah.
What else were you going to
Um,
ask about?
I just recently found out, and this is something that I think could be hit hard on if it's not fixed, in my opinion, by
Mm-hmm.
Republicans. And maybe it's just a small stupid thing, but purchasing a child for sex in California is a misdemeanor, not a felony. And I felt like that is something that could be a pretty big talking point if it were to be blown up at all. Um,
Purchasing a child for sex is a misdemeanor under California law, carrying a maximal penalty of up to a year in jail, minimum of 2 days in jail, and a $10,000 fine. It seems that what you're saying checks out. I would like to learn more about it because it sounds crazy. Also, now here's the thing: purchasing or soliciting a child for sex. Yeah, listen, I this is the first time hearing of it. At least in some sense, what you're saying seems to be true. It sounds nuts, but I'd really need to know more to weigh in substantively.
Yeah, definitely. I know there's discourse going on in the state right now about it. So hopefully it just gets nipped in the bud and whatever. But yeah, I'm also going to learn about it more. So
Yep. All right. Well, I appreciate the phone call.
yeah, thanks, David.
All right. Simon from Montana, off he goes. Great to hear from him. Why don't we go next to Aaron from Kyoto? Aaron from Kyoto, welcome to the program, originally from Minnesota.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, it's great to be on. A longtime listener, first time caller.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I grew up in rural Minnesota, and it is uh, like kind of Trump country.
Hmm.
It's We had a Democrat as the representative for a couple decades, but then he was replaced by a Republican in I think 2020, um, and uh, and so like my sort of question for you is so like in my experience, I've met a lot of people that are like I live in Kyoto. I met a lot of people in Japan and Korea that have like a very positive view of Donald Trump. They think he's a great businessman, and I've
You know, I've
had
heard of that. I've
yeah,
heard that there is a movement in Japan that loves Trump.
mm, yeah, like there's like a lot of people out there like when they meet me, they're like, oh yeah, like you're an American, so like yeah, Trump is this great guy and such a great businessman, and I'm like, no, he's a horrible.
Yeah.
And anyway, so my question for you, like about that, is, um, like you traveled the world quite a bit too, and like, do you run into these people often, or like when you go to Europe
Never.
and such?
Never, never, never.
Is
It
it?
has never happened. I mean, listen, there have been people in Argentina who don't really follow anything, and what I think it's one time someone said to me, "Yeah, Trump doesn't seem so bad. Why do so many people dislike him?" And it was someone who really doesn't follow politics, but universally, I run into people now. Now I have to tell you, this is the people that are coming up to me, so obviously they're more likely to be fans of the show. But when I was in the UK recently, 7 or 8 people came up to me, all not Trump supporters. When I was in France and I met people, when I was in Italy, I'm not experiencing this at all. But at the same time, I'm not traveling to countries where there seem to be prominent pro Trump movements.
Mhm.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess in the
interesting.
UK, there is a right wing movement. It's just they're not coming up to me, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, like one thing too is that I've done a bunch of volunteer work in Korea with North Korean refugees,
Uh huh.
and quite a few of them were like really caught up with the cult of personality back when he was the president, because like they saw him doing things, they didn't really understand that like he's kind of doing it for show, and then he starts talking very positively about the about Jong Il Kim.
Right.
I mean, Jong Un Kim, sorry.
Kim
And
Jong
yeah,
un.
so very interesting, like seeing their responses and like as like the time went on. But yeah, thank you for having me, and I'll take my call off.
All right. Aaron from Kyoto, great to hear from you.